It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
Hey,
it's Ultimatum time.
Now I've got a QR code in my beard. Let me just move some hair out of the way. And if you scan it, all the receipts are going to be on there from the reunion, okay?
This is a very high-tech reunion.
Very high-tech. It's crazy.
Was she afraid that somebody was going to, like break her phone or something? Was there something going on?
But you would think it'd be easier to break a nail than a phone. I don't know.
That's true. What if she broke the nail?
I don't know.
Maybe she
I heard that if you scan that code while you've got the Oculus on, you can have like a full 360 VR experience.
Whoa, I heard that
with the text messages.
I heard that if you scan it, you have a chance to win $250,000 from Mr. Beast via Moneyline.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very exciting stuff.
Have to eat a virtual Feastable bar, right?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah,
that's sick.
Well, what a finale we had. It actually did have some surprises, and the reunion was good.
The reunion was great.
God.
Once again, I'm just coming out of all this feeling kind of bad for Arya. I don't know.
Definitely. What about Scotty, though? He tried. I feel that he really, she's going to grow older. Believe it or not, she will get older. And she's just going to realize one day that he's a major asshole. She's going to stop letting him off the hook, and she's just going to go, Scotty, say, he was a huge asshole. I shouldn't have given him so much credit.
It's got to be in the back of her head because she decided no later than 24 hours after she accepted the proposal to take it back.
Yeah, well, because she couldn't tell her family. She knew it would be so embarrassing.
I'm
telling my family I'm married to this guy.
Scotty, you're still dating him? I thought you guys were. What's going on?
It's somewhere between her conscious and her subconscious, but it hasn't fully worked its way there yet. That she knows it.
It'll get there.
It'll get there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh. Well, she just turned 25, probably. So that's when your full
development of your brain,
your cortex or whatever develops. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They were the babies on the show, weren't they?
Well, she was. He's like 27. No, Mariah is all. She was she 25? Mariah was like 24.
Mariah was 25. Yeah.
They're all very
Because usually on Ultimatum, it's 30s. Typically.
Yeah.
Early
usually.
30s. Yeah.
Also, usually there's couples that have dated longer. All of these couples were like 2 years, 3 years, very normal lengths of dating. Not
right.
I don't know.
It wasn't like the 8-year.
It's either 8 years or 1 year usually.
High school sweetheart situation.
Yes.
Yeah. Not this time.
Well, before we get to the reunion, let's talk about things. Sandy and JR meet up first, and nothing happens.
You're sad for sore eyes.
Yeah. She's like that's the best joke I've ever heard.
And she's like,
buckle fire.
We really both dove deep into this experience, and it was really cool to make out and fuck and stuff. So
they're both like, I got everything I wanted from this experience, and more. Did you notice they both said and more? That's sex.
That means
they fucked.
That means he nutted for sure.
I'm a they had sex truther.
I am too.
Yeah,
I am too. I'm on board with Nick and with Zena.
This and the drones in New Jersey, they're all connected.
Yeah. If you scan that QR code on her fingernail, you get access to one of those drones.
Yeah, you can control it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if Sandy said she wanted to run away with him? Do you think he would have done it for the storyline?
Dude, he would have done it.
Yeah.
He would have done it.
He was so hoping.
Oh my God.
He was like, they're definitely going to gone on Perfect Match. Because I would have dumped her ass right afterwards.
He would have dumped her pretty quickly after, but yeah,
Yeah.
he would have run away with her. You know.
Then we get Zena and Jr. He opens the door for her when she pulls up, and I got total Roxanne vibes, you know, because she was one of the door pulled open for her.
That's right.
I got really.
I thought you were gonna say you got chills when you opened the door.
Well, I did, because
I thought you were like getting excited that they were
of Roxanne, and then of course I had to order some of Roxanne's anxiety gummies to help me chill, to help me calm down from the chills.
Totally approved by the FDA, completely safe.
Exactly.
100%.
Zena also says she got all the answers she needed and all the reassurance she needed, and I'm just going, Zena, you're an idiot.
No, but that's why she's so mad at the reunion, is because she's like,
because she knows she's
I
an
look
idiot.
like an idiot.
Yeah, well, she didn't look like an idiot. She was an idiot.
Oh,
don't look like one. You were one.
Thank God she came out swinging at the reunion. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. He really makes us look like an idiot though, because he really
He's a fucking piece of work. This guy.
He really sets it up. This is like a prank show. He really sets it up. I really thought he was going to propose.
I know.
He's like,
and he's like holding her hands too the whole time. And then the second he does the switch, she immediately is like, "Get your hands off."
Do you like when he took out a ring box, then he opened it up and it was a Jack in the Box instead? That was really funny. Like all the stuff that he did.
It was a ring pop.
Yeah.
He said, "Here, have a lick."
Do you like when he starts sniffling and forcing himself to cry? That was really good.
I was like, you know what? The Oscar goes to.
Yeah, that was
My
really
God,
good.
that was such fake crying. It was incredible.
Yeah, she says she's never seen him cry and she hates seeing him like this. I'm like, he just dogged you. Like, what are you? Also, he's not even crying. I don't see any tears.
He hasn't cried since he was 15. Yeah, I bet it was fake then too.
He not cry. He didn't cry. He just went.
He wasn't crying. He was sniffling. There's a difference.
Look, this was hard for him though. Okay, you said it was hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things were really hard around
Sandy. I was going to say really hard with Sandy, okay?
Especially behind the closed doors.
Until Nick ruined like his time with his wife, Sandy, okay? Nick ruined it.
He kept banging on the ceiling when we were having sex really loudly, telling us to keep it down.
I'm trying to do a power hour down here and you guys are ruining it.
I love that we finally found out that he literally did live in the apartment right beneath them.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. That's fucked up with the producers too. Like, my God.
Oh, those are the rooms that were available to them, okay? Mariah and Caleb, can you believe he took out a prepared statement? Caleb? Wow. I can't believe that.
You would think he's such an orator, you know, you'd think he could do it off of the whim.
He is resting I don't give a shit face. This guy is like it just looks like he either doesn't care or just looks like he doesn't care.
Yeah, he looks like Cody Bellinger. He's got stoner face.
His stoner. I'm just like, do you love her? But then I'm like, he doesn't look like he loves anything. Just does not care.
He just looks exhausted.
Yeah.
This poor bastard. Like, give this guy some B12. He just looks tired.
Well, at the end of it, he was like, I don't like ultimatums. I don't like cameras. I don't like anything. I
fucking hated this whole show.
Yeah, this is terrible.
You do feel kind of bad for him, you know? He takes a lot of shit from Mariah, and it's like, he was pretty faithful to you. Like,
well, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
No. That reunion was really brutal for both Nick and Caleb. We'll get to that.
But. Sandy and Nick. This is where it gets juicy. I really enjoyed the Sandy and Nick engagement. So let's break this down. So she says she loves Nick with every fiber in her body, all of him.
Yeah, you can really feel that love, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
And when he goes to take out what we think is a ring, she goes, "What are you doing? What are you, stop, police. She starts calling. It's like he's
and we
pulling out a
later find out
gun.
in the reunion that it was just a piece of paper.
Yeah, but she was acting like he was going to pull out a gun.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Hold on.
Which, to be fair, with his behavior the last couple of weeks, you could kind of see it, right?
Yeah.
Like he may have been pulling out a knife or a gun. We don't know.
Thought he was pulling out a flask. That's what I thought he was doing.
Yeah. Hey, come on. He's in treatment. Okay, he's good.
I know. That's why it's okay.
That's why the joke works.
That's why the joke is okay. If you need treatment, go to don'tdrink.com.
Don'tdrink.com. Yeah.
Yes. She said
O'Doul's.com.
Yes.
Non-alcoholic beer.
Yes. She says there are still things we have to work through, and he says, "Are those things worth losing me?" And I'm like, "Was that a threat? You're like threatening her?"
Yeah, it kind of felt like it a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, perfect match is worth losing you, Nick." Okay, she wants to be on perfect match. She doesn't want to be with you.
It might work too.
I would rather be on perfect match than be with Nick. I think most people would.
JR is definitely going to be on perfect match.
Yeah,
there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, and then we get this thing where he goes, "I deserve to be someone 100%. Don't you want to be with somebody 100%?" And she's like, "But I love you." And he's like,
"Do you?" I can hear you having sex above me every day.
Yeah, I just don't think that's true. It's not.
Why do you guys have sex on the floor? Huh? Is it because you know I'm down there?
Yeah. Yeah, I kept hearing you say, "Oh, not Nick. Oh, not Nick."
Anyone but Nick.
He says, "I keep feeling like an idiot. I keep feeling like an idiot. I'm not going to feel like an idiot anymore." I'm like, "Well, you still have to go to the reunion. Maybe after that you'll feel better."
You're not his narrator. He won't.
Yeah, I know. So, they kind of walk away, and then she tries to like pull him, and she goes, "Babe," and he goes, "Babe," he goes, "There's no more babying. What do you do?" We're not babes anymore. We're over.
I am confused about what she wants out of this. It's very weird.
She doesn't know what she wants. Okay,
I don't think she does. Yeah,
she didn't.
Even during the reunion, she's like tiptoeing this line of "I love him so much," and he has been my greatest torturer of the past several years. Like,
yeah, I don't think she knows.
Yeah,
I think this is very difficult for her. In confessional, afterwards, she says, "This has been the hardest decision I've had to make 100%. And I'm like, "But I think Nick kind of made the decision."
He did, yeah, because he didn't propose.
Yeah, and then he like broke up with you. So yeah. I don't think, but okay.
Babe! But do we think we do think he may have proposed if she didn't have that visceral reaction to him going for the piece of paper? Is that what we felt like during the reunion? I don't know.
No, because he made it seem like he wasn't going to propose. He was getting the piece of paper to end things. I wrote it down what he said, so we'll get there.
To read a written statement.
Yeah, well, because you have to. You're on a kinetic produce reality show. You have to do a written statement. Yeah.
They don't like it when these reality contestants wing it.
He had an out-of-tuned guitar somewhere too to play.
Yeah.
So
and a blank canvas ready to go.
Yeah. So we were really excited to hear that song that he was going to play, So let's see what Scotty and Arya got up to for this proposal. I was really nervous heading into this because they were the last couple. I was like, she's going to say yes, isn't she?
I thought so when I saw that they were color coordinated. I was like, they're going to say yes.
Yeah, serious Jabri and Miona vibes here from 90 Day Fiance, Barbie and Ken on the boardwalk.
There's just something about if the two separate producers had them dress in the same colors, then I was like, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when they met up, they were so low energy and quiet. They were like whispering. I was like, is this an outdoor library? Are they not allowed to talk?
It is, yeah. They have a lot of those in
why.
Arizona, right?
Yeah, because the weather is so temperate in Arizona. People like to spend all their time outdoors, especially in the summer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Scotty says he issued the ultimatum for the wrong reasons, maybe out of fear. Are there any right reasons to take somebody on the ultimatum?
Yeah, no, there's no good reason to have an ultimatum.
Well, what about fame? No, there's not enough people watch the ultimatum for it to be worth it.
It's a decent amount, but it's not enough.
Well, you can possibly get on Perfect Match, so.
Yes.
But do enough people watch Perfect Match anymore?
Not as much as the first.
Well, they're bringing people from the Bachelor universe on the next season, so that could really help.
That could be huge.
That could be huge.
You got to bring Love Islanders on there too, I think.
Yeah. I think they are. They
might be, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at that spoiled list.
They are, but it's like, I think it's like US. I don't know if they're doing UK. UK would be the pull.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Molly May and Tommy broke up, so you got to bring Molly May on there, you know. But then somebody would have to take care of Bambi, their baby. You know, who's going to take care of Bambi? You know, bring Bambi to Perfect Match.
They named their baby Bambi.
Yeah, how do you not know that?
Oh my God, I hope it doesn't get shot in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bambi doesn't get shot in the woods. The mom gets shot in the woods. That would be worse.
But everyone that Bambi loves gets shot or killed.
I know. Yeah, I know. It really is bad.
You're putting a target on your own.
Luckily, they're British, so there's a much lower chance of that happening to them.
That's true. Yeah.
They might
There's no woods in Britain.
They might just get hit with a bully club or whatever.
Yeah. Although they could get hit by a train out there. Isn't that what happened to the dog? Didn't the dog get hit by a train?
In Bambi?
Yeah. Or no, I'm thinking Fox and the Hound. Now I'm thinking Fox and the Hound.
I thought they just get shot in Fox and the Hound.
They might. I can't remember.
I just remember being really sad. I couldn't watch it that much.
Yeah, those are sad movies.
Yeah.
What was Disney's problem?
Tune in next week for our recaps of Bambi and Fox and the Hound.
I'd do it. I would. And Hot Frosty.
And Hot Frosty. Anyway, so blah, blah, blah. They say, I love you a bunch of times, and they apologize to each other. And he says, I choose you. He proposes. She says yes. Then she says, I choose you. Guys, it doesn't work this way. One of you has to be the Pokemon trainer. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
One person says, I choose you. Then one of you is a Pokemon, and one is a Pokemon trainer.
Otherwise, there's going to be no evolution, and therefore the relationship is going to be dead in the water.
Yeah, the role play just doesn't work, and that's why your relationship. If one of you could,
you might as well both be a couple of Magikarps flopping around on the ground.
Exactly. You know? If one of you, if you guys could trust each other, and one of you could say, "I'm Ash," and the other one could have said, "I'm Pikachu," it could have worked. If one could have said, "I choose you," and the other one could have said, "Pikachu," then the relationship could have worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you fucked up.
Majorly fucked up.
Yep, that's why you guys failed. Idiots. Yep, and that is what happened. But I was really happy for them when they got engaged.
I was very happy for them that they broke up.
When she said yes, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Arya. Maybe try living in the same state first and see how that goes. God.
Ben, they did a trial marriage. They got all the information they needed. Okay.
Yeah.
The show works. So JR, he says he still has some healing to do. Sandy says she got her shit rocked. Nick says he's had enough of this chase. And Arya and Scotty, they probably said something, but they were whispering so quietly I couldn't hear it. We're both Pokemon and Pokemon trainers. It's not gonna work out.
I just realized I don't have any Pokemon at all. There's nothing I can do
here. So let's get to the reunion. Yeah. Did you like that we got like a little backstage going into it? Like we see everybody entering it and they're like, I'm coming in with heat.
Hey, I like their intros to reunions. They do a good job with
it. I like every walking in. It's like JR lied to me, so I'm gonna give him. I got this QR code on my finger that you all can scan at home.
Yeah. They really should do it like boxing matches where like they come out in robes and they're like, doing air punches and all that fun stuff.
Zena is driving in on her 2012 Honda Civic XLR.
That's right.
She got it used. The Kelly Blue Book said it had a valuation of $5,000, and she got it for $4,500. You can't see her, but she's in there.
Nick is driving in, but oh no, it looks like he's drunk. Everybody look. He's crashing into couches.
Going in, Arya comes in and she's like, Caleb better be honest about his emotional connection with me.
I know, of all the intros,
why do you guys give a shit?
Wait, this is what you're like harping on, Arya? Like this of all the things is what you want to?
Who cares about their emotional connection? You guys played chubby fucking buddy. Nothing happened. Nothing happened afterwards. Nothing has happened.
Oh, you were sort of friends for 2 weeks. Like, what's going on?
He liked some of her posts, and then he blocked and unblocked
her stories, dude. He looked at her stories.
And then he blocked and unblocked her.
That's basically like having sex.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Whoa.
And then I love how like everybody on stage too was like on board with that. Like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I mean, the only suspicious part was the blocking and the unblocking, but I'm like, but like nothing happened.
He's probably got Mariah up his fucking ass all the fucking time about this shit. So he goes and fucking blocks.
That's right.
And then he's like, well, no, maybe that's gonna look even worse. So he goes,
I know.
And blocks. You know, he doesn't know what to fucking do because none of these people are fucking happy when he does anything.
He's like, I was high. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. I didn't mean to block you.
She was at a Shrek rave. What am I not going to like that story?
Yeah. Okay. She said something about Akon. You know, guys know I love Akon. He brought electricity to Africa. So Nick and Vanessa come in, our faves. So we do learn that one of the kicked out couples is going to come here. Was there another couple? I thought only one couple. Yeah, I was like, who was the other couple?
Well, there was that woman who had that date with Nate. That was very interesting.
Who's Nate?
From the other couple.
Dave?
It was Micah. Was the guy. And then I forget the
Do you mean woman. Dave? Who's Nate?
Maybe it was Dave. Yeah.
Do you mean Dave and Vanessa?
Dave and no, it was who Dave was dating at the beginning. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, but there's
Dave was with the woman that was in the other couple.
Vanessa, not Lachey.
No, it wasn't Vanessa.
There's no Nate.
There is no Nate. You're right.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, the other couple was Micah, and then what was the woman's name?
Oh my god, I can't even remember.
Anybody in the chat? Nobody knows. Nobody knows this person's name. Was it Chanel?
Yeah, it might have been. That sounds familiar.
Anybody know?
I'm looking in my notes from the first 2 episodes.
Yep, Chanel. Thank you, Wanda, in the chat.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I only remember her from her date with Dave.
Okay. Well,
that's all
it was a major loss that they weren't here.
Major
loss. They were sneaking out. They probably would have snuck out during the reunion to have a little chat and then not come back anyway.
Yeah.
So
that would have been funny if Dave and Vanessa had done that. Dave and
Vanessa,
like left halfway through the reunion.
Yeah, you should have done some bits during this. So we talked to Mariah and Caleb first. Maybe people in chat could talk. Does anybody ever care seeing these people go on fucking trips? Like every time
it's so boring.
The reunion, it's like we've traveled. It's like somehow these couples always have unlimited money and they always go on like 10 vacations.
Yeah.
Within the year that it filmed. And I'm always like, how have you guys traveled to like 100 places in the year? How do you not work?
They're like, we did all the MLB ballparks in America.
I'm like, you already took off. You already took off 2 months to film this reality show. How did you have time to do all this vacationing? Also,
it's because they're selling anxiety gummies, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah, they have some anxiety gummies. Also, I don't care. They have color. They also apparently like to color coordinate outfits. Very Jabri and Miona. Yes. Shout out.
Shout out 90 Day Fiance is the
shout out 90 Day Fiance. So they're going to be doing a destination wedding summer of 2026. That was a little surprising to me that they would be doing something so audacious. Did that surprise you?
A little, yeah. For Caleb especially, but I could see how Mariah would push that.
What didn't surprise me was Caleb being like, yeah, we're doing it 2026 because I want to make sure we're in a good place when we get to that day. So he's like, yeah, I
just want a little more time to maybe break up with her.
But. Yeah, I only proposed because, she really pressured me into it and I was on national television. So
we'll see how this reunion goes. We'll see how much she yells at me for doing nothing wrong.
Yeah. I've been checking out Arya's Instagram and she's recently single. So
yeah.
I got till 2026 to kind of play the field.
She does it. But she also yells at me for doing nothing wrong. So
yeah.
I don't know if I want to go down that road.
This is
more of the same.
This is where Arya calls him out for capping and stuff. Where do you went over this?
It's really silly. It's like, what do you want this guy to do?
Arya also brings up this thing about how Caleb and Mariah would talk for 2 hours during Caleb and Arya's trial marriage, so that Mariah must not trust Caleb. And I'm like, no, it was probably that Mariah was all alone. So she probably wanted somebody to talk to, and they're dating and he's nice. You ever think about that?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
What are we doing here, folks?
I mean, she didn't trust him, but it's also that she really wanted somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
So I'm
bored.
I caught myself capping there, so I don't want to be a liar. I don't think she trusted him with Arya, but also she probably was lonely. So a little bit of both.
She was bored as shit.
Yes. Yeah, but he was not forthcoming about his emotional connection.
Okay.
Like how he was like, yeah, but it wasn't romantic. He's like, it wasn't romantic, so I didn't think it mattered. But you're right. I should have told you all about my emotional friendship with somebody. I should have told you.
I think he was just like being nice to Arya the whole time, and maybe Arya did develop feelings, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's like, I should have told you.
Nice.
I should have told you about this woman developing feelings for me. That would have been really important. I don't know. Like
they act like, watching it back through it was so much worse. It's like, no, it wasn't. Like he didn't do anything.
Nothing happened. They played Chubby Bunny. They had a handshake.
Yes, and like he drew firm lines in the sand often. Like he was like, I don't want to, be going and talking to Mariah about like some emotional connection because I did not feel that.
Didn't they sleep separately?
Yes, they did.
Didn't they go on the ultimatum? Like, what do you expect to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Very, very weird to target Caleb of all people.
I do like how the Nick Lachey is like, I just want to say, there's no question about how much this guy loves Mariah. And I'm like, well, there is, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, he does keep pushing the anyway. Arya and Scotty. Yeah, this is where they drop the bomb that they're no longer engaged. This is a shocker. I thought they would have been married by now.
I think it's because she's still in love with Caleb. It's got to
yeah, there's that emotional connection will never end.
Too strong.
Staring contest they had. Yeah, this just gets pretty sad with the miscarriage and her grandma.
That was really sad, man.
Her miscarriage and the grandma passing away and the couples therapy. I mean, there's not a lot to really joke about here.
No, I just mostly felt bad for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Zena basically calls out. She's and Arya basically like does a jinx with her. That it's basically like, yeah, she didn't want to like reject Scotty, so she just said yes. Like, yeah, that's basically what happened.
If marry or move on, you only get 2 choices. Okay.
Yeah,
you have to choose one of them.
I mean, that does really make it difficult for people that are like not ready to sever the relationship yet.
Yeah. Whereas with Nick and Sandy, it was like kind of a lot easier to sever.
Yeah, I feel like Scotty, because of the situation with like how sympathetic Arya was to him and kind of like these bad things that happened during their relationship, that he did get off the hook for kind of like how much he would yell at people during the show.
Yeah, well, and
like being a huge dick.
Just like his arguing tactics and stuff too, he would just try and sort of dominate the conversation and condescend and be patronizing and shit.
Yeah, he got really away with that. And then also, like, I think because he's always like, I learned from this. Like,
yeah, he's like, I'm going to be a better listener now. Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're not. You're just saying that you are. We're not dumb.
We haven't really seen any.
But if you say that you're growing, it's hard to be like, it's hard for like the hosts or the producers of the show to like say, no, you're not, to call somebody out like that. Like, it just becomes a harder thing to produce.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people
like
online.
How much do you want to dig into it? Like, are you in therapy? And like, what have you learned in therapy?
Yeah, that's like very hard to do. And I've seen people online complaining, being like, Vanessa and Nick are bad hosts. Like, they should have called out Scotty more. And like, Vanessa and Nick don't really like totally get to gauge like what they talk about. Like, and number 2, like what we just said about how like it's hard because Scotty's manipulative.
Yeah,
we do defend Nick and Vanessa a lot because it's fun, but in this case, like, it's just like it's kind of the
Nick
way
and Vanessa very much took a backseat on this reunion because the characters themselves were doing all the heavy lifting. Like they were going for it, so they didn't need to assert themselves in any way. If anything, maybe at some point they should have asserted themselves when Caleb was getting absolutely trounced by everybody else.
Yeah, that was fun though.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let's get to JR and Zena. JR says that they got separate places, and then Zena wanted to go back to that they were doing, and she was upset they didn't spend Christmas together. And she's like, we did spend Christmas together. And he's like, but you wanted like presents. And you wanted Santa, you wanted me to dress up like Santa and just sit on my lap? And like, that was crazy.
You wanted me to bring like sides? You wanted me to bring like mashed potatoes and shit? I was like, what?
Yeah, so they broke up and then they decided to move across the street from each other.
Smart.
But he's like, but we like weren't really together, but we spent all of our time together because she wanted to. But I kept telling her we were broken up, but we spent every night together, but like we were broken up.
Yeah. I was like, we can water each other's plants and we can talk, but otherwise forget it.
I'll tell you I love you and I'll call you my girlfriend, but we're not together. Zena says she questions whether JR truly loved her every day. That's a good thing to question. You should question a lot of things about JR.
A lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, she says that she can see everything now, and this was something that was interesting. She says the day before they left for the show, she received screenshots from another woman of him flirting with another woman on IG. He claims they were photoshopped. This was what was weird about it. So he says, this is during the reunion, I owned up to them. They were photoshopped and I didn't cheat. So he says the messages happened, but they were photoshopped. I rewound because I was confused. So he says they were photoshopped, but they did happen.
He's not a very good liar, is he?
No.
But
he didn't cheat, so messages are okay, even though that's what happened with his ex.
It's amazing how he'll deep, or how deep he'll dig if you get
he'll dig. He will deep dig and dig deep and deep dig too.
Yes,
he'll do it all.
He'll deep dig all the way. Yeah,
he really tries to gaslight, and he's not very good at it.
No,
well, he is somehow, but then when he gets caught, it's like you need to stop gaslighting and try another tactic. You talk to Scotty about it. He can help you.
I like that at one point when he gets completely put in a corner and like they've actually got him. He just, which was after the edit that they did.
Yeah.
He just goes, it's like, that's always the last resort for someone when they can't gaslight anymore and they can't manipulate. They just revert to like their middle school selves in an argument and they just go,
so they both say that they didn't fuck. And Nick says that the thought about them fucking was there. And if Nick and Zena weren't there, then it would have happened. So Nick kind of like when Zena brings up the fucking thing, Nick goes like, "Whoa, I didn't exactly say they fucked. Don't bring me into this. I'm chill Nick now. I'm reformed Nick. I'm peaceful."
That's right. I only paint one solid color on a canvas now.
Yeah.
No abstract.
Yeah, they insistently aren't past a kiss. Jared says he forgot about the third kiss. Well, what about the fourth kiss? Because I'm pretty sure we calculated.
We counted 4, I think.
At least 4. We definitely counted 4.
And we did get confirmation in this reunion that there are no cameras in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So that's also something.
Nick says they were afraid to tell the truth. I get it. This is Nick, not Lachey. It's like, dude, stop letting off the hook. This is a reunion. You don't just go.
He keeps trying to back JR.
Bro, this is a reunion.
He keeps defending JR throughout the whole reunion. I'm like, dude.
Can you imagine if we were doing this recap and if we were just like, we get it. Sometimes people fuck and they don't own up to it. Like, that would be so boring. Yeah. We have to be harsh and, like, come on.
Could you imagine if Shake was at this reunion? My God.
I know. I'm just going to play our mantra for this podcast.
I have to judge these people.
Yeah, that's how reunions work too.
We get to judge these people.
Nick, Nick, you don't just go like, I get it. You have to go, no, you shouldn't have done that. It's a reunion. Come on.
We're fellow weirdos.
Come on, Nick. And why don't they talk about the tattoo more? They should have brought up the tattoo. They should have asked him what he did about the tattoo.
Yeah, he was wearing long sleeves, so we don't know if it's still there or not, do we?
Yeah. We got a great apology from JR saying, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I get it. I was just embracing the experiment. We love an I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
Say what you will about JR. He's always been committed to the science behind the ultimatum.
Yes.
And that's what I respect about him. He looks at this from an academic perspective. Okay.
Yeah. So does Sandy. She says that she couldn't help it. Her and JR's love languages are physical touch. Okay, guys.
We had to fuck.
Yes.
That's our love language. Okay?
Yes. And
do you not understand? Everybody's different. Some people are loyal to their spouses. They hold back from fucking, but my love language is fucking. So I'm gonna smash, of course.
And do you know what our love languages are, Ben?
What's that?
Patreon subscriptions.
Yeah, baby.
It is the Reality Alert Deal-tacular. You got to head to patreon.com/reality alert and use code Rascal. Only available until January 1st. You get 20% off your first month or your first annual subscription.
20% off annual is really good.
That's really
That's
good.
a really good deal.
You get weekly bonus episodes. That's patreon.com/reality alert. 20% off your first month. Code Rascal or your first year. So get tons of stuff there.
We will not be offering 20% off annuals again until next December. So
yep, that's realityalert.com/ patreon.com/reality alert. Code Rascal. Okay, let's continue talking about Sandy and Nick. Zena calls out Sandy for reassuring her at girls' night, and Sandy says, "I own that, but he loves you. He loves you." She like totally is just, let's move on. Let's move on. Me being a shitty person. He loves you.
We don't need to do this.
Yeah. And they're like, we just talked about you guys. We didn't do anything else. We just talked about you two. It's like, we have tons of footage of you guys not talking about you two.
Literally all we did was fuck and talk about you two.
Yeah.
That's literally all we did.
So then we get to the hall pass rumor, and Scotty and JR are like, we don't care. But then, Zena takes out that QR code. And we get these clips, and it basically turns out
this edit was fire. By the way,
yes,
it was incredible.
It was really good. I almost feel like we didn't need it though because we saw so much of it. No, we didn't see it. We saw so many other things, but it was a very good edit.
But there was just no response that JR could have had.
Yes,
to this edit.
I mean, at the end, he literally said, "I have a hall pass," and we were like. I thought it was just like exactly how us and like everybody else theorized. It was like, yeah, duh. He said it. Yeah. It came from him. We literally heard him and Micah talking about like, like him being like, I get to fuck a white girl. Like he literally was talking about having a hall pass.
He looked so pissed off at that.
I know.
He was so mad. Oh, that was, man, I gotta say, one of the best moments on any reunion I've ever seen was that edit. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, even Sandy gets upset, I like how he goes, I'm not the only one that was being flirtatious. And Zena goes like, well, it did look like you were the only one that was being flirtatious. And Nick goes, no, it was pretty mutual. The whole thing.
All of us guys were talking about hall passes.
Sandy, no, Vanessa goes, what did you mean by hall pass? What do you mean? What do you mean by hall pass? We know what he meant by hall pass. Anyway, Vanessa, Not Lachey, and Dave arrive. This is what we've all been waiting for. We miss these two stars. By the way, they post on Instagram. They are now engaged.
Good for them.
We're very happy for the happy couple. She's taking special medication so her farts don't smell. So they're together. Very
so Vanessa comes out and she does a deflection masterclass.
So she says that Nick texted her 2 days ago for some kind of resolution. He claims just asking if she was coming and clear things up in general, not for him. She disagrees.
Also, who cares?
Yeah, I don't care about that part. She's really going after him. Now, I get why she wanted to clear up what happened. She says when they moved in, she felt uncomfortable because he would pull her into places without mics and cameras and that he needs to work through his trauma. But she says it's not her place to share. I was like, was he revealing deep, dark secrets about his childhood and things that happened to him? Like, I was like
it. Yeah. Maybe
Well,
something.
that's what I
with his parents or
thought.
something.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then he just says he reacted poorly when Sandy and JR kissed, and he was very rude and went to a dark place, and that he was drinking a lot. And I was like, okay, I would want to leave too.
Yeah.
If I was living with somebody who was drinking a lot and being very dark and making me feel
He
scared.
didn't really say that was her reason for leaving, though. Was his drinking?
Well, she says you spiraled. I tried to help and you weren't receptive. She says you were ugly, and that was the first day.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
She maybe didn't know the extent at the time of what was going on with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that that he probably made her feel pretty uncomfortable.
Could be. Yeah.
She says you don't,
which is crazy because I would have thought, I don't know about you, but when it happened, I kind of just assumed it was Dave that wanted out. Because he didn't really have a connection with anybody.
Yeah, no, I just think the way it was edited, I think it was Vanessa that got uncomfortable because Nick was like spiraling and putting a lot of pressure on her, and he was like, being Nick. And I think that does line up with kind of the way that we saw him acting when he was by himself too.
Yeah.
Like if he started acting,
then I feel like she went too hard on him for it at the reunion. I felt like she was berating him a little too much when it was like he has already admitted that he was at fault and that he was spiraling and had an addiction and was going through this really dark shit. And it's like, do you really need to keep piling on?
Well, no, I agree. It's like, okay, you reveal what happened. That's fine. You say what happened. Maybe you call him out on it. It's a reunion, whatever. And then it's like, you weren't even homeschooled. And it's like, what does that have to do with
that's
anything?
so petty. That's so petty.
He's like, for a semester, he's like, I was homeschooled for a year. It's like everybody on reality shows.
It's like, wait, what is this about then? Like, is this about him ruining your experience on the show, or is it about him lying about being homeschooled? Come on.
But also, he was homeschooled, and everybody on these shows connects over stupid bullshit. Everybody in life connects over stupid bullshit.
And when Scotty has to speak up and say, I think we're being a little too hard on Nick, that's when you know you've gone too far.
No, but that's bad. You don't want Scotty doing that.
You don't want Scotty in your corner, but I mean,
no, that's right.
Nobody can berate more than Scotty. So that's when you know it's bad, is when he says it's a bit much.
Did you notice how much they were saying held space, by the way?
Yeah.
There was so much talk about
holding right after the interview, right? After the
dude, they were just paying tribute to, they were holding space for Defying Gravity, like everywhere. It was really beautiful.
Held each other's fingers.
Yeah, it's really good.
Too bad.
Yeah. But they did say they've gone ring shopping, and they said being on the Ultimatum has really helped them, Vanessa, not Lachey, and Dave. So we're very happy for them.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I guess so.
Sandy and Nick. Nick says he was never ready to propose to Sandy. He says he wasn't going for a ring. He was going for a piece of paper. So he claims he was never going to propose to her.
Yes, and it wasn't a gun.
It wasn't a gun. It wasn't a flask. Well, there might have been something there with the paper. We don't know.
Yeah.
He says afterwards he begged Sandy to get back with him, and then he went to recovery for drinking, but decided a week into his recovery she didn't want to be with him. Probably the space was helpful.
Yeah, holding that space.
Especially. Yeah, holding space. She saw Wicked. She learned things about herself, like we all did when we saw it, and she just realized we all held space for Defying Gravity, and we were all changed for good. Sandy says she realized she didn't go through all of this not to get married or be single afterwards. Finally, it took her. She should have realized it during the show. But luckily Nick did, at least for the show, but she realized it after the show. So thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for holding that space.
Thank you for holding that space. Nick owns up to that he bombarded her with so much and apologizes for ruining her experience. But then Sandy says that Nick has been infiltrating her. This is Vanessa Lachey's language the whole past year. It's always like Nick says that he's changed, and then we figure out that he's just still being the worst. He's like, I've been in recovery. I've changed. I've moved on. I'm a better person now. And she's like, but you're saying this, but you haven't. You're still rooting my. It's like, Nick.
But is the definition of bombarding the same as like Arya's? Like, is this just him looking at her stories? I don't know.
No, I don't believe that because we've seen his actions and like
That's
dude,
true.
like this
Yeah.
guy is not, and we know about him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't and he doesn't deny it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He really does look like he does not want to be there at all.
Nick?
Yeah.
No, I just think Nick is very troubled.
He is. Yeah. He's an artiste, Max.
Well, that was what
artistes are troubled.
That bothered me when Nick Lachey says what he thinks about Mariah saying he's not husband material, and he says you just got to be careful when you fall in love with an artist. That's not an excuse to like be a shitty person to be with, man. Like he's like taking all his responsibility, being like, yeah, I'm in recovery, like no, like I was wrong and everything, and he's like, but I'm an artist, so we're just gonna be terrible to be with. But somebody's gonna tolerate me one day.
All those ladies who fell in love with Bill Cosby and Woody Allen, you got to be careful when you fall in love with an artist. Okay,
Sharon Osbourne, she tolerates Ozzy Osbourne. You
got to be careful.
Sid and Nancy,
this
they
is what
tolerated each other.
When you fall in love with an artist. Okay.
Oh my god. He's seeing someone, and I just want to DM her and say, "Get it, run, get out, run."
It'd be really funny if this person that he's seeing right now went on the ultimatum with him on the next season.
Oh my god!
And then it all happened again.
The golden ultimatum.
Yeah, yeah, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? He's getting up there.
The diamond ultimatum.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see Nick on Perfect Match. That would be kind of interesting.
He's in recovery.
Yeah, he would have like an Izzy storyline, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, honey. You feel huh?
He would unmatch with somebody, be banging on their door at 3 a.m.
Why don't you hold space with me?
Yeah, hold space with somebody else.
You don't have to worry about me, honey. I can't even get it up. So don't even
Somebody teach me how to be popular. Oh, well, what a season of the ultimatum. It really did heat up.
It actually ended on a really strong note.
It did. Well, that's what we were hoping. We were like, at least the reunion will be.
Well, compare it to the last season where like
much better.
All got engaged. It was all really boring.
Yeah.
This season it was messy. It's really messy.
It was Messica for sure.
And we're gonna probably get some future Netflix stars out of this season, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
at least with Sandy and JR.
At least
I would love to see Zena on again too. She was great.
Micah,
even Scotty is messy.
Yeah.
Mike, did you say Micah?
Yeah, definitely Micah. Chanel.
Chanel, Dave. The big three. Right
the weirdos.
We're fellow weirdos.
Oh. It's like goose.
Well, thank you all for joining us this season. We've had a blast. We'll be back next year recapping something, whatever comes out.
Beast Games, maybe.
Beast Games, maybe. We know Love is Blind season 8. I think that usually comes out in February. So
yeah.
We'll definitely do. Usually that's a February show, so that'll be. Usually they do like the Valentine's Day premiere, so that's my prediction.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
They usually like to do that for Valentine's Day.
Yes, we'll look forward to that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's all
Minnesota. Is that where it is? Minnesota.
Is it going to be the Minnesota one?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is the Minnesota one. Yeah.
A lot of Mall of America scenes. Going to be fun.
I really hope so. We're not even going to know that we're in Minnesota. We're going to know that we're there.
Unless they go to Mall of America.
Unless they go to Mall of America, then we'll know. I hope they see the water skiing squirrel.
Oh, he's from Minnesota?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like whenever I see footage of the water skiing squirrel, it's in like the Mall of America or something. I think he goes on tour though, the water skiing squirrel.
Well,
you all know what I'm talking about, right? If not,
if
not, Google it. I know you know, Ben. If not, Google it, guys.
Yeah.
Or TikTok it, as you Gen Alphas know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Trying to think of other Minnesota things.
Minnesota, nice.
The Vikings, Randy Moss.
The Cold.
The Cold.
Simon Birch. Was he in Minnesota?
No, I don't think Simon Birch was.
It was set in Minnesota.
The Little Big League, great movie. The child becomes the owner of the Minnesota Twins.
Not a lot of things. We're gonna have to research to make jokes about this.
Yeah.
Fargo.
Yeah.
Is that Minnesota? But that's also like the Dakotas, right? Isn't it like both?
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is Minnesota, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Sick. All right, let's wrap it up. Happy holidays. And don't forget, get yourself or your whole family patreon.com/reality alert subscriptions. This is last time we're going to bother you about this, so listen closely. Patreon.com/reality alert, code Rascal, 20% off until January 1st.
Did you guys hear that?
Did you hear that? Santa's saying it now. Ho, ho, ho. Code Rascal, 20% off until January 1st. Ho, ho, ho.
You may have heard it, but were you listening?
Were you holding space?
Were you holding space for the Deal-tacular?
Were you holding space for Nick and the Deal-tacular?
Look, it's a great last-minute gift. If you're going to Target today and you go, because you see that the shelves are empty, because Santa took all the presents,
took all the Feastable bars.
Yeah, he took all the Feastable bars. There's nothing you can put in stockings. The best thing to put in the stocking is the Deal-tacular, okay?
Yeah, Phil, you can like just cut out a piece of paper and write Reality Alert Patreon
print out the
subscription on it.
confirmation email receipt.
Yeah,
and put it in the stocking stuffer.
That'd be so sick.
It's cool. Yeah,
that would be lit.
Anyway,
okay,
happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oops. Bye.
Bye.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
I think I said that you're like an onion.